Sometimes I doubt myself, like, I don't know if this is the right decision. I don't think this career is for me. And for me, whenever that happens, you have to talk just to get, advice, just to get supportive comments that coming from your loved one and reassure you that, it's gonna be hard, but you will get there.
Welcome back to another episode of the Kurative Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Sutarji, and my guest today is Mandy Amaya. Mandy is a makeup artist based in the Bay Area, working for all types of clients, ranging from commercials and photo shoots to weddings and other events. In this episode, we talk about trying out anything you're interested in, even if you're unsure you'll enjoy it or succeed in it, how social media can be a good and bad thing depending on how you use it, and how having a support system is always important when pursuing anything in life. Enjoy the show. Hello everyone. Before we get to the episode, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who is watching the podcast on YouTube and listening to the episodes on all the podcast apps. There are many other ways to support the podcast. A few are to rate and write a review on iTunes. If you got value from the episode, you can share it with a friend, and you can email me at hello@kevinsutarji.com and tell me your story about which episode resonated with you. Also, when I announce my guest for the episode on Instagram and ask for questions, you can DM me your question for my guest. Lastly, you can subscribe and be part of the notification squad by opting in on getting notified on YouTube or any podcast app whenever a new episode is released. Thank you and enjoy the show. All right, Mandy, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So, obviously we met through Charles, your husband. And how long have you guys known each other?
We've been together for 7 years now.
7 years, okay. Mm-hmm. And you guys just got married last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
You were the groomsman.
Yeah. So I'm super honored to be part of your guys' wedding. It was super fun. Like celebrating your guys' wedding on my birthday was like one of the best birthdays I could ever have. So
yeah, thank you for being a part of our wedding, and thank you for just spending your birthday with us.
Yeah, of course.
The wedding.
Of course.
Yeah.
Ever since I've known you, you've been really into makeup. But for the audience that don't know you and know your story, why don't you talk about, how you got your interest, how you were interested in makeup and how you got to where you are today?
Yeah. So makeup before anything serious like now, which is a personal interest for me. I just remember growing up, I always interested in my mom's makeup and always like play with it and got in trouble for just like smashing her lipsticks and all that. So yes, until I don't remember until when that I just realized that like that's my passion. That's what something I want to go after. But I remember growing up, and my parents always wanted me to become like, like finding a stable jobs after finishing the schools, and just have that in mind. So I never thought of like makeup as my career or anything like that. So I went here for school and finished my AS degree. And then by the time that I finished school, during school, I worked part-time in a retail and office setting styles. And I just realized that not what I wanted to do in my life. Like, I remember I don't like how competitive it is at retail stores, or I don't like how like I always looking forward to the hours I can be off at the office settings, companies and anything like that. So after my 2 year in college, I was in a very big conflict that if I want to finish my degree, 4-year degree, or if I should follow what I love to do, which is, I know it's just a personal makeup, but I just wanted to see what it can take me after I started learning. So I think that's when like it's a really big decision for me to see what I wanted to do in the future. And with all the support from my family, with all the support that I received from my husband Charles and my friends, they believe in me, and they said just go for something that you love. And I think that's when I took a leap and just enrolled in, makeup course in blush school and actually in that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just love it more after learning and just after learning more about the makeup industry, and I realized that this is what I love to do. I never get tired of it. Like I always love doing makeup.
Yeah, and it's always nice when you wake up in the morning and you're just like happy to go to work, right?
Yes.
That's not common for everybody. And what were you studying before?
So I studied business before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you happen to use anything that you learned from your business classes to what you're doing now?
Yes, of course. It's actually helped a lot with like business plan. So like I think that's like the things that I really use on how to like planning my business out and like how to attract more clients or like how to make myself stand out as a business, because basically makeup is a career that I feel like it's your own business, and it's just how you make it further, how you expand your business further.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, 2 years that I learned in college actually help with this. Yeah.
So then when you were doing school for makeup, did you know exactly what route you were trying to get into?
No, so at first I only know like, oh, I want to do makeup. I want to make people pretty. I mean, it's still now like that's my passion, but like when I took that master makeup course, it's just more than that. Like, it's like I learned about editorial makeup. I learned about working in a creative environment, not just wedding, but I love wedding. I love beauty makeup. It's so many more to makeup than just the beauty of itself. So I love beauty makeup and I love creative makeup.
Yeah, so I actually saw some photos on your Instagram, and you're doing a lot of things that kind of adds character or adds accents to people in their photos. Like, how do you go about like doing makeup for people and for certain photo shoots and all of that? Like, what is your process?
So yes, so if it's just for like a client, let's say she wanted to go to an event and she want to look pretty, so that one we always have a consultations for me to get to know what she likes and what she doesn't like. Just trying to get as much as I can to the look that she's looking for. So that's for like client that just going to event. And the same with wedding. Like, how do people want to feel like? How do people want to look like? And what will make them happy? So that's my process for clients like that. And then when it goes to photo shoot or like working with other creative team members, we always have a mood board, like where how like lightings that the photographer wants or what poses they want. And then we have stylists where they want to show off their clothing, and like it's like coming to like hairstylists and makeup artists, like what do we want the final photos to be like, and what's the mood board like. So we always share a mood board where we agree on like, yes, this is exactly what we're looking for. And it's a lot of communication in between to just like make sure that we're going in the right directions or on the same page. But yes, it's a lot. I think for makeup it's a lot of communication, just so that that that's the direction you will take, and that will make the clients happy at the end.
Yeah, because I feel like if you go the wrong path or you give them a type of makeup layer that they don't like, then you have to kind of start over. It takes a long time, right?
Yes.
How long does it take from consultation to planning with other people to actually getting that photo shoot started? Like, is it multiple days or is it a couple hours?
No, it's like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay, that's a long time.
Yeah,
it's a lot
like,
of planning.
Or even like a month in advance. It's just like sometimes we change in between. Like we change the ideas. Like, oh, maybe this makeup look won't go with it anymore. Or like they want to feel a little bit more than the original idea. So like it's just back and forth, and then it's a lot of planning. But there's some photo shoot that I done with just like a week too, where like that's exactly what we want, and then we come out with the look, and we just go for it. But yeah, I think it just depends on how much time you have.
Yeah.
Like if you have a whole month to plan, there's always changes in between.
Yeah.
But if something that you really want to do, like I really wanted to get this photo shoot done this week, so we have that short amount of time, and that's just when we like really just have to be on the same page in that short amount of time.
Yeah. So then how do you communicate with people? Is it through like texting or what technology?
So we do email, or we do Instagram group. How do you say that? Sorry, group chat.
Yeah.
On Instagram. Mostly email. That's why we send all of our mood boards.
And what is the mood board?
Mood board is just like Pinterest board, but instead of how you pin picture on Pinterest, we actually just like save the pictures of we want. Like let's say photographer, he would have his lighting board where like what certain lights he wants.
Oh, interesting.
And then post board, which is like what poses he wants.
Oh.
And then for stylists, like this is the vision of like the clothing. So everyone just like ping the pictures or save the picture and then put it in, like a Word, let's say Word document, and then just like send it to everyone in the group chat. Yeah.
Okay. So it's just getting a better visual of like what your inspirations are and what you want people to kind of add to what their vision is, right?
Yeah, so like for me, for makeup artists, so normally I would be getting a mood board from photographer where they're looking for this type of makeup. So let's say they want like a glowing skin, right?
Okay.
So they would have like picture of like, the glowing skin makeup in the board. So I kind of have a clear vision of like, okay, this is what he's looking for. And then sometimes I would make suggestion, like if I look at the clothings and stuff and I say, oh, maybe we can play with this kind of lip color. Maybe I feel like it's maybe better. So like normally they would give me the board for the makeup they're looking for, but then I would just like add my touch to it, and just like add opinions to it. So
that's good. So then there's a lot of back and forth. So the people that you work with, are they people that you constantly work with, or is it different every time?
I feel like I collaborating with a lot of different photographers and stylists, but then for sure I will have like a few that we've been just constantly working together. It's just like I think we know how we work, and it's just faster that way too. But I always open to work with different photographers or different creative team members.
So how do you meet everybody? Because obviously there are a lot of photographers, there are probably a lot of makeup artists, a lot of hairstylists. How do you meet other people to basically do work with them?
Normally it's through Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess it's the current like how we connect each other is through Instagram, because like I post my work mostly on Instagram, and I think they would just find me through like all the hashtags that I did. And then normally that's just how we really connect. Like it's more just like going around seeing people's work and then just like, oh, I love this work. Like maybe we're just gonna shoot them in DM. Like, I DM a few people and not everyone just gonna get back to you. So that's a struggle too. Like, but that's just how we connect. Just DM, just commenting on their work and just, hope to have a chance to work together.
Yeah, actually, I do that too. I see people like on Instagram posting their photos, their videos, or even just like businesses.
Yeah.
Like if I see a restaurant or something, and I see their food, for example, or I see their coffee shop and like the interior and the coffee that they make, like sometimes I really want to work with them through Instagram as well. So it's cool because that's like their portfolio, right? That's like their own Pinterest page or whatever. Like you can see that this is their aesthetic. And I feel like contacting people and like kind of cold DMing is kind of tough, and I've talked about this with other people. Is just sometimes you just shoot a message and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take it personally if they don't want to work with you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Like before that, I have to overcome that too. I was like, oh man, they read it, but they never reply back to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my work is not good enough.
Right,
Like,
right.
I always doubted myself whenever like I sent someone a message and then just never get anything back. But I guess it's just like, sometimes maybe they're just not looking for what, like, maybe later. I feel like it's just so nice to just be able to send out message and, open to anything.
Yeah.
And just don't take it personal if, they don't get back to you.
Yeah. So then, back then you said that you kind of were hurt by when they didn't get back to you,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe if they said no at the time. Like, when did you finally realize that, okay, I shouldn't take it personally? Did it take a while, or after several no's?
Yes, it takes a while. It takes a lot of Charles convincing me that no, you're really good. Don't just take it personal. And like, I kind of overcome it too when I get to share the same experience with like other makeup artists or other people that doing the same what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I heard a lot of stories from like other makeup artists that trying to connect to and
I see.
ended up not getting anything back. And then like it's nice to have like people in the same industry, and it's just nice to be able to share your story and know that, oh, you're not the only one, and they actually get rejected all the times too. So
Yeah.
I think that's when I know like, oh yeah, it's normal. I mean, everybody gets that, and I don't have to worry so much about it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And it's just a lot of like kind of reassuring when people are in the same area and they're talking about the same struggles that you're having as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
yeah, I definitely feel like, and I've talked about this in a lot of my podcast episodes, like building a community and just having that support system is really helpful. And it's cool. I'm assuming you meet a lot of makeup artists.
Yes. So yeah, I work with a lot of makeup artists, and like whenever I get to work with makeup artists, like I feel really lucky because we always learn from each other, and you always get to share your struggles or like your experiences. So I think it's really nice to have that community where people just come together, listen to your stories, support each other.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Do you ever get a lot of business through referrals as well?
Yes. So yeah. So DMing is more just for us collaborating, but I do more maybe my business through email. So like I would have clients that email me because I want to keep everything through my emails, and then a lot of people just like refer other clients to me, and they will contact me through email.
Oh, that's very nice.
So yes, I do get a lot of referrals.
Okay. Not a lot of people will work with you unless like someone refers you, right? So like when you meet someone and then you work with them and they really like your work, and not only your work but they like you as a person, I think that's one of the biggest things, because like for the audience that don't know, Mandy's like one of the nicest people I've ever met. So so I'm sure everyone loves working with you, and like I just feel like that's the biggest thing that people sometimes don't understand. Like there's so many great artists, so many great musicians, so many great like photographers, videographers, but if you can't work with them, it's really hard and people don't really enjoy it.
Yes.
So I feel like referrals is like huge.
It is.
And you don't want to create enemies, essentially.
Yeah, like I think the word of mouth is like very important for us, like being on our own and trying to expand our business. It's just like you're trying to do the best job, right? And then you just want it to be like very good experience, that when that client feeling good, feeling happy at the end, they would want to go and talk about you more.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it shows that you just always have to do the best job that you can do, and that's when that will bring you to more opportunities.
Yeah. They're basically like your agent. if an unofficial agent, if you do a good job, they're gonna just refer you to their friends and all of that.
Yes.
So then how do you create a good experience for your client? Like what do you do? Do you talk to them? How do you make them comfortable? All of that.
Okay, so I'm as an introvert person myself, I don't talk a lot. And at first I just have to be, so I start a conversation with anything relates to makeup.
Okay.
Like let's say you're my client, right? I would say like, good morning, Kevin. Like I would ask like, how do you want to feel today? And what kind of makeup are you looking for? What occasion? So that's when I started my conversation. And then I don't talk much about personal, life. So
Okay.
I keep everything to, makeup related topics. And if we run out of, makeup topics, I would just, tell them that like, well, not really tell them, but like I show them my full attentions and my full energy on making them beautiful. I feel like that's my way of how to make clients comfortable. At the end, I think that's what it shows. Like at the end, when I see that they're happy with their look, and I think that like, yeah, I did a good job. I think that's what most important too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be talking too much while working, and then sometimes they don't like what the end result. So I say, okay, I'm not talking, but I giving them my full attention.
Yeah.
And hopefully at the end they will love what they see. So
Yeah.
I think that's really rewarding, and I feel like they're happy with whole experience.
Yeah. I think they definitely appreciate when you care about your own craft, right?
Yes.
You're focused and you're not fully, you're not distracted by anything. What happens when someone is, I wouldn't say awkward, but what happens when this person that you're working with is very chatty, very extroverted,
Yeah.
Like, so how do you handle that?
I mean, I would chat with them. So
Okay.
that's the thing. Like, if people love to chat
Yeah.
and then bring up questions, then I would talk to them. But I would also say that, sometimes I would be just like working on their eye, and I was like, sorry, I'm doing your eyes. We'll catch up with that later. Because like whenever I do my eyes, like the eyeliners and all that, I need like my whole
Yeah,
attention.
I
Like
don't-
it's so hard to talk while doing the eyes. 'Cause it's so detailed.
Right.
And normally like that, I was like, oh, okay. Like they want to be, they don't want me to make any mistakes,
For
so they
sure.
would be like that. But I won't be the one that bring up a lot of questions. So if I meet a person that like loves to talk, I would love to talk with them too. So that actually make me feel better, because I'm not the one who bring up conversation.
That's true.
Which is really good.
Yeah. I remember you did an Instagram story with Obi.
Obi, yes.
Yeah. He's a friend I met through my brother's friend, so it's like mutual friends and stuff, and he's a cool guy. Like I feel like
Obi's
he's very nice, pretty social, right?
He's very like, yeah. So like, let's say Obi, he's super nice. He was like, oh, what's the next step you're gonna do for me? Are you gonna modify me? And I say, yeah. Like it's really nice to have a client like that too, because it's just like making the whole vibe much better.
Yeah.
Because they loves asking questions, and Obi is a very funny person, so it's nice, like making the whole experience faster.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it's just fun chatting with him. So yeah, like I always happy to be able to work with a person that's so outgoing too, because the whole process seems faster.
Yeah.
It's just that when I'm so introvert and I meet someone that just like me, there will be just a little awkward moment.
I
You'll
see.
see that silence, but I guess doing what you do best, like trying to give your best job,
Yeah.
that people will appreciate at the end.
For sure.
Yes.
So for Obi, I think were you guys doing like a video ad or something?
Yes, we were doing an ad for I think it's a Filipino lumpia brand,
Oh, okay.
Magnolia. But yes, he was
Okay.
the model, and I was the makeup artist on set for that shoot.
Got it. And what other things do you do? You do weddings, events?
Yes, I do weddings too, and I do photo shoots
Okay.
for like fashion or just creative photo shoots.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference on what you like to work on more, or do you
Um,
everything's okay?
so right now I'm still like very early, as my career just started like 2 years ago.
Hmm.
So right now I loving just doing beauty makeup and creative makeup. So beauty, just thinking of like weddings or people going to event or even for like a beauty photo shoot. And
Okay.
then for creative, it's just like playing with colors and just playing with something out of normal. So that's what like I'm really going for at the moment. But there's so many directions when it comes to makeup. I might develop my love
Right.
later for
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah, I think it's great when you're starting out. Sometimes you don't know what you want to do, and so you're just trying different things, right?
You always trying, yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I started doing like documentary kind of interview style videos. I did like promo videos, event
So
recap
cool.
videos, like so many, and I even like clubbing videos, and I'm starting to find what I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to hone down on it, like trying to do more of the ones that I enjoy and not the ones I don't enjoy.
Yes.
Um,
You just have to try just to see what you love most about.
yeah. So it's cool that you're trying different things, you're doing different, like working with different clients, different people. I just feel like when you're in a position or in a business where you have to work with a lot of people, there's a lot of variables, and being able to actually adapt to all the different variables is a good thing, that is a good skill to have, essentially.
Yes, I believe that. So yeah, I remember just like finishing makeup school. Well, let's say I remember going into a school, taking classes. I know that I only want to do weddings because that's the only makeup I know. Like wedding, making beautiful brides and making people look beautiful. And then when I started school, there actually more than just wedding makeups. There's editorial, there's special effects, there staging, makeups, and all that. And then as I learned, I know that I hated special effects just because I don't like bloody and like
Oh yeah,
it's just
like
that
all the gore.
yeah. So like but like there's people love it, and I'm sure it's just like it's different aspect, and but you have to learn, you have to try, just so that like what, like let's say I don't like this, so that's not the direction I'm going. I like beauty. I actually really love beauty. So I think expose to more options, just so that you know what you like at the end and pursuing it.
Yeah, a lot of people are afraid of trying out different things because they're afraid that they might not like it or something like that. But it's actually something that you should be doing, because you might regret not, like, you might think, oh, I should have done this, or maybe I would have liked this. But after you do it and you realize you don't like it, then you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, at least I've tried.
Yes. That exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing to do though is, like, I feel like a lot of people, when they try to do something for their career, they're a lot more cautious because they feel like they can't go back. But for you, like working with clients or working on different areas of makeup, it's not too bad, right? If you try one gig and you end up not liking it,
Then you
okay.
know.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
you know, and it's not, you don't lose a lot. Maybe just your time. Maybe I don't know, if you plan like for 2 weeks, like that's how much you lose, but at least you got some experience. Now you don't like it, you're done.
Yeah. That exactly what I have been doing too. Like I've been trying to do different type of makeups too. Like been collaborating with different photographers that have different mood boards, and I feel like I say why don't we just like get out of our comfort zone doing the makeups that you think you might not be able to do it, and then once I do it and I say, oh, this is actually not what I wanted to do. So I feel like, yes, always trying, like just keep trying and just keep exploring new things, and once you get to try it, then you will just find the one that you really truly love.
Yeah. No, would you say that, before you did makeup and before you switched from business to studying makeup, were you like that before? Were you always the type that liked to try different things, like maybe if it was sports or hobbies, or did you kind of grow into that kind of mindset?
I love trying things out, and I'm not saying that I'm a very adventurous person, but I'm not scared when it comes to new things.
That's great.
But I'm nervous, so
Oh yeah, of course. I mean I feel like everyone will be nervous at some point,
Yes.
like it's not something where like, oh, I can do this and I'm not scared at all, but at least it's not hindering you from doing it.
Yeah, so it's not like that. It's like, yes, I'm so nervous, but I'm not like so scared to like block it from what, like from my adventure. Let's say, so when I finished my AS degree, the conflict, it was really big for me. Is that I know growing up, we always set out to finish university and have a degree and going to get a stable job. So I'm just thinking that what if I finish my degree, but then I don't end up liking anything in the future? And what's the point of having a degree and you just don't?
It's like a waste.
Yeah, and then but still though, like, what if makeup career is not even a thing for me? Like, what am I gonna do without a degree? So it was just like a very big conflict at that point in life where I'm like, should I do this or should I just try makeup and see where it goes? And it was like that. But then I'm just like, you know what? We're just gonna try. So I just enrolled in makeup, and it was only 7 months. So I say, it's a 7-month course, and I just want to see if that's for me. So I think that's when I'm like, let's try this. And then if it's not for me, then it's okay. I can still going back to school and just trying to finish school. But once I step into school, when I learn, when I, discover more to the makeup. I feel like I love it even more. Like,
that's great.
Every day going to school, I'm so excited. And after graduating, I'm so excited to do makeup. Even though there's hard time to where like I don't get to do makeup a lot throughout the week. It's like, it's not a stable job. It's like sometimes you got booked all week, but sometimes there's a week that you only get to do 2 or 3 makeups, and those are the week that like I have my very down mood. I'm like, oh, is it gonna be like this forever? Where it's just like a week that I get to do the whole days, like always busy, and then some week that I'm just like sitting here doing nothing.
You're right.
But I guess it's just like I'm just starting out, so if I work hard for it, and if I get known by, like, if I get to expand my business more and more people know about me, it'll be better in the future. Yeah,
definitely. I think that's great. Like, you're actually going for a passion, and I can see the passion from how you from like how you talk about makeup, from your Instagram, from like basically the work that you do, and it's nice and refreshing to see people working on something that they really truly enjoy. And I think, man, like for me, I'm doing videos obviously, but this is more of a hobby, and I'm not at that point where I'm sure I want to go professional. So it's nice to see that there's someone that's like going all in for their passion.
You are so smart though. Like, you are super talented for going after what you love to also having a full-time job. Like, that's amazing.
I mean, it helps fund my hobby, but I'll be honest, like it takes up so much time. Like my full-time job and doing the hobby at the same time takes a lot of time. I think there's this book that I was reading. It's called Essentialism by Greg McKeown, and he talks about basically dropping everything that you think doesn't add value to you, and just going all in for what adds value, what you think adds value at the time. So for example, like if I love videography and I don't, like going to work for programming or like even reading a book that has nothing to do with videography, like I should just drop all of that and just go all in.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what you're doing more, and that's actually a great thing because you're focusing your time, energy, money, all on what you actually want to do.
Yes.
So it's like people approach it in different ways. I think for now I would love to do this as a hobby, but if I want to grow more, I have to kind of rebalance what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yeah, I was definitely doing a lot more things. Like recently, I left this team. I stepped down from a team where I did promo videos for them, and I did like a bunch of different videos. And they're a team based in LA, so it's hard to communicate with them and stuff. But they're a great team and all. But because it has nothing to do with my podcast and what I wanted to do, I had to like step down.
To step down.
Yeah. So it's like not as essentialism as you are doing with like dropping the business degree and all of that, but it's I really appreciate it because essentialism is definitely a hard thing. Like dropping everything to do what you love is too tough for people to handle, I think.
Yes. Well, I feel like I'm blessed too. I'm blessed to have Charles, who can just like always support, and like he's like the most supportive person to what I'm doing right now. I have my parents and friends, and like I just thinking if it was me on my own, I feel like that wasn't the route that I'm gonna take too, because
really?
It's just so hard to be, you need money too.
True.
So I'm just thinking that if it was on my own and just starting the business just as makeup, and it's a lot of investment going to makeup. It's a lot of time that you just spending and trying to connect people, or like I feel like you need another job just to support that. And I feel like without Charles or without my parents, that kind of be another resource for me. And I feel like that would be hard. So I really always like grateful for what I have. Grateful for the people that, been just supporting me for my whole journey. Because without that, I don't think I would be freely to just go after what I love.
Yeah, that's great.
It could have just be a hobby right now. Like maybe I would just work at a full-time job and just do it on the weekend.
Sure.
So I just feel that I'm really lucky to just be able to just go all in. So I think it's just a lot of aspect for that too. Because like I'm just thinking if I don't have that spare income, let's just say, because we're married, but if I don't have that, like I don't think I can just like put all in to invest in my kid and just to be able to just do makeup full time.
Yeah. I think one great thing about that is that you have a support system from your family, from your friends, basically your loved ones. I think that's one great thing to have, especially when you're first starting out, because whether it's like having some income support or even just like some motivation, help you like get to where you want to go.
Yes.
I think that's great to start out because not everyone can do it all by themselves.
Yes.
Especially if it's like a hobby at first where you don't think you can make money, but you need some investment to get there, and like you need time, you need capital to just get to at least the first step.
Yes. Yeah. Totally.
Actually, I was talking to two DJs, or they're like music producers, and they built a studio to like make music, to invite people to make music with them and stuff. And one of the producers' dad owns that studio space, and so he asked his dad, "Hey, can I get this space for 1 year rent free?"
Yeah.
And then like after that, I'll start paying you. And obviously, like that's his dad. So he, they got that deal, and now they're paying rent, but they've gone so far from just that one investment, like that free rent, right?
Yeah.
So I think no one should ever be afraid to talk about that, because I think that's one thing that people don't talk about enough. It's like you get a lot of help. You need a lot of help from your loved ones, and to help you get started. I think if you're doing something like what I'm doing, where like I'm working full time and doing video as a hobby, this is why I can fund everything.
Yeah.
But it's also tiring. It's also like draining.
It takes a lot of energy
Yeah.
and time.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and like I don't get to spend most of my waking day and like brain power on the thing that, you know, I probably really want to do.
Yeah.
And I love programming, like don't get me wrong. I just like am really into this video stuff and I really want to see where it goes. So because I'm splitting my time, it's not that helpful. And so there are certain routes that people can go. If you have a lot of energy and you think you can stay up late and, you know, do work after your full-time job, do it. But if you can't, you need help.
You need help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for you, people like you are amazing because work-life balance is already hard, but this is basically a hobby that you really want to turn it into something, and then also you still have to be responsible to your full-time job, and also beside that you have family and you have other personal life too, and it's just hard to fit everything in, you know, for 24 hours a day or like for the weekend. So I really hope that, you know, that you get the help that you wanted and just like help you with
basically all my projects and
yes.
all that. Yeah. So no, I get what you mean. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, you're too nice. Like I wouldn't say that I'm doing everything as well as I should. Like I think the biggest thing that has been missing from my life is like a lot of personal time with like my loved ones. And I said it on my last episode, or not my last episode, like my episode 12. It was just like a reflection of what I've done so far with the podcast and all my videos. And I was talking about how like I'm not balancing my time as well as I should. Like I think the thing that's really missing is like spending time with loved ones. And I want, you know, hopefully once the podcast and like all my video stuff gets a little bit easier, I get a little bit of help, like maybe have an intern. I think I'll have more time and I'll want to spend more time with like my family and everyone else.
Yes.
And hang out. And like, obviously you guys are friends. I want to hang out with you and Charles a lot more. Shout out to Charles, by the way, who's behind the camera, for being a great husband for Mandy. I mean, like, you know, I think being able to hang out with other people is really something that people should do to take a break.
Yes.
Like for you, especially like if you're doing a lot of client work, sometimes, well, from my understanding, you can have client work during the day, during the nighttime. Is that true?
So yeah, so for me, I work mostly on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I have more free time at the beginning of the week, but
I see.
when it goes towards the weekend, that's when I have most like the busiest time of the week for me. And sometimes I would get a little sad that like, oh, you know, I couldn't hang out as much as I want with like, you know, with Charles, where like he would work Monday to Friday.
Right.
And then I work mostly Wednesday to Monday.
Right.
So it gets tough sometimes where it's like we want to do something together, but like someday I would just like work like until nighttime. So I think that's hard, but you just have to find time to just, you know, spend quality time with your loved ones. I think that's really important. Like I still have to try myself from not going online so much. I feel like I spend a lot of time on social media,
like Instagram and stuff.
Like I feel like sometimes I just scrolling without having any purpose. Like at first I would be like, I really just want to see what the people up to and like just want to feel inspired. But then I feel like sometimes I just there without really doing that, and I feel like I should have been spending time with my loved ones.
Right.
Or like call my mom, talk to Charles, or like go visit his family, or like, you know, those things, rather than just like spending time on the phone. So I think that's one thing that I need to get better at.
I think we all do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that It's so crazy nowadays. I feel like technology really takes away a lot of time,
It does,
and
unfortunately.
we unconsciously knowing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I feel like the same as you. I'm going through different profiles, trying to connect with them and stuff, and I'm scrolling, trying to find quote unquote inspiration.
Yes.
And I feel like it becomes mindless, and I'm actually not getting value after a certain point.
Yeah.
But you feel like that. Sometimes you feel like you're forced to, but in reality you don't.
You don't.
And so now when I try to eat dinner with people or hang out, I try to put my phone down. I try to like at least turn it upside down or put it in my pocket.
Yes.
And I don't have vibrate. I don't have ringtones or anything, because there's that tendency to always like check your phone, especially even like just a quick silence, between conversations.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need to do the same, where I just make sure I don't look at my phone and just focus on the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I'm trying to do better. I'm definitely trying to spend more time like with my loved ones and stuff. If you don't mind me asking, like, because your guys' schedules are so different, how do you guys find time to hang out and make time for each other?
Yes. So at night when Charles gets off work, we try to just like eat dinner together, but nowadays he had so much work too that he would bring works home. So on the weekend when I work, he will always volunteer to drop me off. So I drive a lot in between,
Okay.
because I'm always on locations. So instead of me driving by myself to locations, Charles always offered to drive me just so that we can talk in the car, like just those little times that we spend in the car, or like from locations to location. That's when we get to like spend time. Like I feel like as long as you spending quality time,
Mm-hmm.
it will make up for like time that you think you're missing out on spending. So that's our weekend routine, where Charles
Okay.
just like drive me to work, and then like sometimes we in like a 15 minutes drive. So it works too, because even though if you have a whole day but you don't spend in that quality time, sometimes you just realize that, oh, you didn't do anything today.
I know,
So
that's true, huh?
so that's just us right now. Our routine is just I work mostly weekends. He drive me to work, drop me off, and just wait for me. So
Yeah.
at night, some night that he don't work, we just spending time watching movie together. Watching Bachelor. I don't know if you watch that. It's
No.
just funny just to have it in the background or something too. Or I'm so into doing like decorating houses and stuff, and then we always have a little project that we can just do at night when he gets off work, like hanging curtain, like hanging
Oh, okay.
lights. So I think those moments, or like those projects, just like that's just like what you really wanted to do, and spending time together.
That's great. Yeah, I think doing some sort of craft together, or like,
It's fun.
yeah, trying to build something together is really nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever schedule like a date night or anything, like schedule time specific for no work, just hang out with each other or anything like that?
We did. We have been slacking on that, but we did before. Like we would do date night, let's say once a week, or like
Mm-hmm.
that was before I had too much clients. Like right now it's not a lot, but it's definitely more than before. And for Charles right now, he's pretty busy with work, so we've been just like so slacking off on date night, where we're just like, oh, so tired, let's just like relax at home. So I think we need to get back on that. But date night is a really good routine. Like you just have that in mind, like, oh, this one day is gonna be our date night. So it's just something that you're excited to look forward to.
Yeah.
And just plan activities. I mean, yeah, we haven't done that for like I think 4 months now,
Okay.
or like 5 months. I can't
Yeah,
remember, but we've definitely wanted to do it more often.
Yeah.
So we used to live in Fremont here too, but we didn't get to see our parents a lot. But now I feel like once we farther away, so I kind of like we appreciate that more often. So whenever we have time that we don't have to like do any work, like we always try to visit family as often as we can. So I feel like that's something that we will always have to keep in mind, to just visit our loved one and talk to them, and just spend time.
Yeah, for sure. Do you ever kind of like going along with like resting when you're hanging out with your loved ones? Do you ever use that as a way to take a break from your passion? Because I would feel like sometimes you're very passionate about makeup or whatever your people are working on, but there's a time where maybe you're just overwhelmed, or and like, do you ever get at that point where you're overwhelmed, or maybe you think you lost your passion, but you just need a break?
Yes, it's not from a lot of work, but it's from not a lot of work.
I see.
So like I sometimes I doubt myself. Like I don't know if this is the right decision. I don't think this career is for me because I haven't been getting a lot of makeups, or like I haven't been able to do it. And I think I get overwhelmed whenever I think about like, what if this is it, like this is just how the business is for me. So I always get like, oh, I don't know if I should continue this or I should try something else. Like I think those are the moments that I doubt it myself, and I feel like this is not passion. This is, I don't know, like it's passion, but it's not what I want it to be. So whenever I have those little moments, like very sad of me for even thinking of that, but I feel like you would run into those moments, in your adventure or in your way to find what you love to do. And for me, whenever that happened, I would talk to Charles, talk to my mom, and just you have to talk it out. I feel like you have to talk just to get advice, just to get supportive comments that coming from your loved one, and reassure you that it's gonna be hard, but you will get there. So I would talk, and then sometimes was like, let's just get away for like a weekend. Let's just do something that once you relax your mind, and when you come back, you feel better. You feel like this is not it. You can do better, or it will be better. So I think taking time off in between to relax your mind and not to think about the things that you think not going right in your direction will help a lot in will help you a lot in your journey.
Yeah, that's great. Instead of trying to figure out, oh, what's the best way I can, get more clients, or like just focusing more, getting into that like black hole of like trying to figure out, how to make your business more thrive more. I think taking a break, you might have more ideas, or sometimes it just relaxes you, so that you can continue on with the thing that you like to do. So I like that. I should definitely take more breaks. That's the problem I'm having right now. It's like I'm not taking breaks.
You should take a little breaks. Even a little would help. It's just like I learned that like the more you think about the problem, it's not gonna solve any problem. Like when you take that little break, it's actually, and try not to think about that problem, it will help you to kind of relax your mind and think on a brighter side. Like think more positive, and just talk it out too. Like before I would bottle everything up, but then I feel like that won't help to just like have that conflict going inside, and just talk it out, and you will hear a lot of good things from the people that you open up to, and everyone is really supportive whenever you open up to to them. Like I'm sure people will always try to make you feel better, and that's really better. You need to hear it.
I agree. You can't do it alone. So appreciate that. That's great advice.
Yes.
Thank you, Mandy.
Of course.
Cool. So I think this is a good segue to go to Instagram questions.
Okay.
So I'm just going to ask these questions and just have you answer them one by one. So the first one is from D Muggy. How do you keep up with current makeup trends?
So it's an ongoing process. It's not something that you will learn and then that's it, you set for life. So for me, makeup, I always learning. I always learn from other artists. I always have like techniques set out, and I always try to achieve that. So I always go on Instagram pages. Like I have my artists that like so inspire me on Instagram, and the very nice thing about Instagram is that they use that as a platform where they give you more information about the look that they did. So like not only they will have like the product listing out, and then like
true.
A little clip of like how they do like blending out the shadows. So like I always love to watch those, because learning from others really help you with your career. So for me, I constantly learning. Like I said, sometimes I just on Instagram and just so got hooked onto other tutorial, other like posts that list out products and all that. That I feel like, yeah, I'm getting a lot of information. I'm getting a lot of new techniques that I never known, and that's really helped. And you turn into that like just scrolling too. But I'm just saying about where I learned is that I constantly learning and asking about techniques, and just always keep up with like the trend. Like you always just to have to look out for like magazines, and like whenever a new makeup trend come out, that's when like New York fashion show, like it's fashion show, that's when they set the new makeup trends. So right now they have like the New York fashion shows going on, and that's when I'm like going to all that makeup artists that like the lead makeup artists of the show, and they always creating looks, and you just have to always on top of that just what's the current trends is.
Yeah, actually I do the same thing with Instagram as well as YouTube. Like YouTube University, that's why a lot of people call it, is like you're just learning whatever you want to do like through YouTube. And I feel like learning from people like role models or your inspiration, like I think that's the best way to learn, to constantly learn, because what they're doing, you can gain a lot of inspiration from them.
Yes.
I do feel like sometimes like, oh, I'm learning all these transitions, all these different ways to do a video, but I'm not actually doing it. I think that the biggest thing is like learning enough to start trying practicing all of that. Because if you're just quote unquote learning, but you're not applying it for you, like for your makeup, I'm not applying it to my videos, like
you won't remember that.
Yeah, you won't remember. It's useless. It's like,
yes.
Yeah. So there's a point where like you can learn so much just by looking and watching, but you have to actually do it, right?
And practice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, learning, take notes, and then just get your hands on it, like just practicing.
Yeah.
And yes, I mean, that's the new way of learning now. For me, especially like through Instagram, like the one that really inspired me, and just trying to create the look, like starting with creating even like the exactly same look. But after that, once you know how the technique and everything, and then you just started adding your touch to it.
Yeah.
So it's not, like some point I think like, oh, this look like I'm copying it, but no, until you get the technique on how to create the look that they are doing, and then after that you can just like develop more and add your touches to it. But I feel like it's really important and of like learning how to even create that look. Like that's for me, like I want to, like whenever I see a look that I'm really interested in, like I always wonder like, oh my gosh, how did they do this look? It looks amazing. Like I want to trying to do the same thing. So when I try to do the same thing, and then once I figure out, oh, so that's how they do it, and then it's just from there, then you just like, okay, now I wanted to make it look like this, I wanted to make it look like that. So I feel like practice and trying to achieve what you set out to, and then after that you just add your touches in and just make it your own too. So that's amazing. It's not just like, oh, I'm copying it. But copying it is not wrong. That's the thing. It's like you just learn the technique to create that look, and then after that adding your touch to it, that will make you special.
Yeah. I love that. I think a lot of people are always thinking about, oh, this person copied me, or you're copying like this famous YouTuber for videos, and it's like, well, I'm just trying to learn as much as I can from them, and then you add your touch. You got to know the basics at least. But
yeah, the basics is really important. Like if you just don't know how to do it, how can you even add in your touch to it? So yeah, like for learning, it's really nice to be able to even create what you are inspired of, and then after that, do it your way. People will love you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a great answer. Love it. So I have a question from Karina Graham. She has 2 questions. First one is, what are your dreams as a makeup artist, like doing business in the beauty fashion industry?
Okay, so that's my goals too, right? So I have 2 goals in my. First of all, is that how to expand my business further, and then second is that I really want to pursue my dream of working with beauty brand or like fashion brand, like being the makeup artist behind those brand and working more with the industry and other media. So that's just my dreams right now. And
cool.
Yes, like that's what I'm working towards too. Working and then being able to do makeup for the brands that I love.
Yeah. Dream big.
Dream big. Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, well, might as well.
It doesn't cost anything to dream.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. So then the second question is, what is the best part about being a makeup artist?
Best part of being a makeup artist is to be creative and to be on your own schedule, and to be happy after making other people feel happy and feel beautiful, because that is so rewarding for me. That's the best part. Like my best part is whenever I hand the mirror, or like when people look at the makeup and it's like, oh my gosh, I love it. That's really rewarding, and that's the best part of makeup, being a makeup artist. And then just being flexible, being on your own schedule, and being able to work with the people that you love, and just being able to wake up and do makeup. So I feel like there's so many good things about doing makeup for me.
Yeah.
Just because I really love it, and I feel lucky to be able to do this.
Yeah. That's great. One question I had, and this is not a question that she asked, but you know how you're saying like you're doing your best to make this person beautiful. Like, how do you know how? Because like people have different facial features. You know, they have different skin tones and all of that. Like, how do you help complement their facial features?
So, first of all, you have to look at what their features are. And I think one thing about that too is to learn about what they like and what they don't like. And
I see.
I experience a lot where, what you think they will look beautiful with, it's not what they think they look beautiful with. Like as a makeup artist, I think maybe this color will look really nice on you, but it's really come down to what they are comfortable with and not comfortable with too.
Yeah.
So my job is to deliver my best application, right? Like to make sure they look beautiful, but also understand what they like and don't like. Because really, sometimes I really think that makeup looks really good on them, but to the client is not what they used to look like. So getting to know your clients is really important. Like the consultation part is really important on getting to know, like, some people would just like it natural makeup, or some people would love, a lot of makeup. So getting to know that, initial description about themselves is like, I will always ask them to like, how do you normally wear makeup? I just wanted to know like, oh, what is your makeup routines like?
Right.
Just so that I get an idea of like, oh, maybe this person doesn't like a lot of makeup, doesn't like a lot of foundations. So yes, always have to learn about your clients and learn about their makeup routine, and learn about what they like and don't like, and just trying to do your best job.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't really understand when they try to get into client work. And that's something that I'm learning as I go along as well. It's like, in reality, like you're creating something for the client, so you have to make sure that they enjoy the end product.
Yes.
So for me, if I'm making a video, they don't like the song, I should have consulted with them first, like, oh, what types of songs do you typically enjoy having, like enjoy listening to, or sometimes like maybe they like things that are more simple, like videos that are more simple, or videos that are have more transitions. And I've learned that sometimes it just might not be a good fit, where if I'm the type that doesn't do too many transitions or too many crazy things for my videos, and they like that,
Yes,
sometimes you just don't work with them, and like that's okay, like you can't make every client happy.
yes, yeah. And the thing is, your audience too, and it's just that, like, that's the style. Like, if you have a style and then your audience love you for that, and just deliver that. Like, I feel like it's okay to not liked by everyone.
Yeah.
As long as you have your personal style, and of course experience different things, but like people would love you for that. And I feel like right now you can always do like a poll on Instagram too, and just kind of get to know what people would want to see in your video. And I saw you did that a few times, and I really like that. Like those that you put on your stories, and like, would you like to see more of this or that? I love that, because it's a great way to get the opinions from your audience, and just try to deliver that to your audience.
Yeah, I think for me, I did that. I really focus on feedback, because like I'm not gonna make a video that no one's gonna watch or no one's gonna enjoy. So I mean, same for you, same for everyone that's putting out their work. Like, you have your own style, but eventually, like, if you need clients or you need like viewers, like, you're gonna try to please the client, but don't lose yourself to please them.
Yes, so, exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Yes. I like it. Cool. So the last two questions is from M. Bonarjo.
Michelle.
Yes. How did you decide to pursue makeup full time? So I know you talked about it, like you didn't really enjoy the business degree, but like, how did you know that you wanted to do it more than a hobby?
Yes. Yes, started as a hobby. I know that that's what I love to do, because I love to do makeup on myself, and I love to do makeup for other people, and that was the option, like either that or the degree. So it wasn't anything in between for me at that time. Like, how like I don't have like art, or like I don't like drawing, or like I don't have a lot of options for me at that moment.
Okay.
Like I would just really consider in between makeup or the 4-year degree.
Yeah, this or that, basically.
This or that. And then going into makeup, I still not sure like if this is what I wanted to do in the long run or for my future. But as I learning more and more about makeup, that's when it becomes a passion. Yeah. So it wasn't started out as a passion.
Oh.
It started out as a hobby, and like it's a little more than hobby, because I'm really interested in learning about the makeup industry and want to see myself in it.
Yeah.
So it started a little bit more than a hobby, but I'm not really like that's what I need to do, or that's what I really, really, really wanted to do. I just want to see if myself can do it.
Yeah.
As what, but then, yes, that passion born during school, like the more and more I exposed to makeup, it's just like so much more to makeup industry that I need to know. And the more I learn about it, just the love for me, it's like it growing.
That's great. So you grew that passion, and it goes back to you just trying out things and seeing if you like it or not. So that's great.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. I like it. And that's something that people don't understand sometimes, or even I don't understand. It's like you can grow your passion, you can gain the passion from what you're doing. So
yeah,
that's a new insight that I haven't heard of recently.
Yeah, you can totally. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, I didn't know that it would become my career, but cool. I just loved it. Like, love it.
That's great. I like it. Cool. And the last question she asked is, what is your favorite makeup look to do?
I love to challenge myself, but I know I love to do we call it natural glam makeup, where I still keep skin looks like skin, and just a touch of glam to it. I don't want, I can do makeup per request, but my favorite is the makeup that you can still look like you, but a better version.
Right. Just like accentuate certain
Accentuate your features, but not really cover up anything. Like, let's say if you have freckles, I don't want to take away that freckles. I want to keep it, a little more beautified, but it's not like I'm gonna cover all of your freckles, make you look like you have no freckles.
Right. It's like natural,
yes.
More natural looking.
So I wanted you to look like you, but like beautiful, like accentuate your features.
That's great.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So that's all the questions I had for Instagram. The last two questions pretty much are like, what is, or I guess the one question is, what is next for you and your business?
So, yes, next for me is to grow my business. It's just to learn how to expand my business more. So I feel like that goes into a lot of like promoting myself too. I have a few plans. Like I wanted to be able to put up my work on, like put it out to public more, and that's what I've been really procrastinated on doing. So
like on Instagram or more
on Instagram and on my website, because I feel like people won't know you if they don't see your work.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's your business. Like what people see is what they would like to book with you. So that's my goal, is to be able to post more, or to put out my work, more. And then my biggest goal is just to be able to work hard and just to get into, doing makeup for brands that I love.
Cool.
Yes.
So if people want to reach you or follow you on social media, look at all of your work, where should they go?
They can go follow me on Instagram at mandyamaya_makeup, or visit my website at mandyamua.com.
Cool.
Yes,
thank you, Mandy, for coming and taking the time to talk to me.
No, thank you, Kevin, for having me. I was so nervous coming into this, but you make the whole process so much easier.
Oh no, I mean, this is amazing to hear you talk about your passion and everything. So it was great talking to you about it.
Thank you so much for this.
Of course.
Woo!